you all. I've already gone live earlier today, so this is my second live of the day, and I've got one more to go because at some point I have to cook dinner, and I think people enjoy like Sunday dinner and chat. So this is more of a very focused live that I do every week, and to continue our goal oriented series. I'm going to be talking about overcoming setbacks and staying on track with your goals. And so, hi, Miss D. Hey. But first, I just want to say that because I did do a live earlier this week, just kind of addressing, acknowledging that the world of which we have been comfortable living in here in the US, there's a lot going on. And so I just want you to know that like my heart is with you, my prayers are with you all. And for just in general, like I just believe in humans, regardless of what part of the world or what part of the spectrum you come from. I just believe in us as humans. So, all right, without further ado, let me get focused. Again, my name is Diona Reese Williams, and I am on a huge journey of completing my doctorate. So, if you're brand new to my channel, thank you, welcome. And I put out content talking about goals and being motivated and staying encouraged, and especially during times like this. I am not a political channel by any means. I really try to not just keep myself motivated, but I like to share the things that I do because I've been told by many of my friends, they're just like, girl, I don't know how you do the things that you do. And so, my goal of this channel is to share a little bit of my life, whether it's lifestyle or talking about my life as a professor or being an entrepreneur, or one major forefront of my life is being a doctoral student. So, earlier today, when I was live, before I ended that live, I actually was getting on a call with my weekly, not my, that sounds so bad. This is reminding me of why my brother gets frustrated when I refer to our parents as my parents. It's not on purpose. Um, but the meetup peer group, it was so good. There's about six of us in total, and three of us were able to make the call this week, which is good. And there's just so much that we can learn from each other and grow and try to make the process a little bit better for the next student. Hi, Mariah. Welcome to the channel. And so the group ended up going really, really well. A lot of gems. And then what I like to do is send everybody like a recap email about all the things that was discussed for the day. And then I will schedule like a check-in email like for Thursday just to remind people like, hey, we're going to be hopping on um Zoom on Sunday, because Sunday, like honestly, like Sunday is the one day I really don't look at my calendar. I really don't look at it. And so it's easy to forget that we're going to have a meetup session. So Dee says your brother can have his parents on his own YouTube channel. Listen, I'm going to tell him that. He just teases me. He's like, "Mom and dad are our parents. Why do you always say my mom, my dad?" And so I try to, I'm like, I notice with the peer group that I'm like, my peer group, it's not really my peer group. It's all of us. And even though they might look at me as kind of the organizer of it, it's not necessarily mine. Um, so well, I'm getting into it to share with you guys what today's conversation is about. I did make sure that I put the title of the live, it's outcoming, overcoming setbacks and staying on track with your goals. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So, anyways, let's get into it. What is one goal you struggled with last week? Drop it in the chat. I would love to know a goal that you struggled with. I personally, not last week, but in previous weeks, I was struggling just going to CrossFit one day out of the week. Now, why is that a big deal? I'm currently doing a 45-day challenge. It is day 30 of the challenge. And basically, Because we don't have a 3 o'clock class, I am forced to go to either 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. And you would think like, oh, that should be pretty easy. I don't understand what's the problem. Well, the problem is I teach really late. Um, oh no, so Dee says she didn't get to her book at all. But this week I made it to CrossFit to the 6 p.m. class on Thursday. I was celebrating big time. So that was a big deal. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words. So basically, that was a huge challenge for me. Was I was struggling making it to CrossFit. However, I some other challenges that I had. I realized that doing more pre-recordings was not the answer last week. I needed to focus on editing and uploading all of my other recordings that I did in previous week. So the only thing that I did this past week was that I focused on completing my daily lives because every day I go live to talk about where I'm at in the 45-day challenge. But I needed to kind of recalibrate because realistically, it didn't make sense to do any more recordings. I actually didn't do any podcast recording as well. What I'm struggling with is how to not let things bother me so much, sadly. And thank you so much, Dee. I really appreciate it. Oh, um, yeah. Hi, Diona. And any words of encouragement for the men drafted on the front lines of Ukraine? My brother has been drafted 2 nights ago. Um, and then also we have editing has been kicking my butt. So a combination of things. Okay, let me see if I can address um to me, like trying to not let things bother me is I honestly have to kind of take the issue of whatever it is because I might feel like it's this big, but I need to sometimes like step away from the situation, take a break. And actually, this came up in the peer group today with my other peers that are working towards their doctorate. I was sharing with them in the group, I'm the one that's the most furthest along. And so I told them, I said, guys, I had got so burnt out last summer. Well, last spring semester. So for those of you who don't know, I work full time at a community college and I teach early childhood education courses. And I was so beyond stress between writing for this huge grant that we ended up getting, ending another grant, still teaching my courses, and like being an area chair and being a chair of assessment. Like I have a lot of responsibilities in my day-to-day life that what I should have done is I should have taken a break last summer and I didn't. I went on ahead and still enrolled in class. I ended up doing kind of like, okay, I would say kind of mediocre for my style of like my work ethic. Um, but I was telling them when things become like too much, sometimes you need to just take a pause and take a break because that might be the thing that's going to help you kind of like recalibrate and refocus. And so I would say for whatever your situation is, Lily, is that you might need to step away and take a pause. I have another story. A colleague of mine, she was the president over at a nonprofit organization. Um, and we were like on a business trip essentially, and she was just so stressed. And we were at dinner and we ended up talking, and I said, have you considered like maybe this is a role that you might need to consider letting go? And because she was just letting so much of what was going on like really, really get to her. And I'm like, your life has changed. You've taken on a different position full time. Your old position, you're now doing it part time. Like your life is just different. And so sometimes you just need to make some pivots, and that might be helpful. So editing was kicking your butt, D. Listen, I had a lot of editing too, and so I totally get where you're coming from. It wasn't like kicking my butt, but it was like realizing I'm not going to achieve this goal of like, I cannot keep recording more videos. Like, I needed to finish editing. I needed to upload all the things. So if you look at my channel, you guys have plenty of things to watch over the next 2 weeks. And now this week I can do a little bit of recording, but not as intensive or aggressive as I was doing it 2 or 3 weeks ago. Um, can I join your live, please? We can't talk. No, I'm not sure. Yes, thank you. Keeping your brother in our prayers for sure. Um, yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. I can't read every single comment, but I'm just trying to like keep up. Um, I subscribe to you. You help me out so much. You are so kind and so much. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. You're welcome, Lily. I'm so glad. That's part of why, I mean, my friends have said it to me. They're just like, I don't know how you do the things, but I feel like you need to share. And so that's the point of this channel is to just be able to share, not just with my friends, but I'm pretty sure like we're all human. We go through things all the time. And maybe there's something that I'm sharing or discussing that might be helpful to you. Ah, thank you, Dee. So why setbacks happen? So And why are they normal? What are some common reasons people fall off track? Unexpected life events, lack of motivation or burnout, which I just gave you guys a great example of that, or feeling overwhelmed or self doubt. I mean, again, I was feeling so burnt out last May. Like, I literally told my employer, I was like, guys, I'm going to log on email like twice. It's to submit the grant annual report. And that's pretty much it, all I'm going to be doing because I was so burnt out. Now, when it comes to self doubt, that has happened as well. Especially while working on my doctorate, there's been moments where I'm just like, why am I doing this? I feel overwhelmed. I feel stressed because I don't understand what I'm doing. And there could have been some possible like imposter syndrome that was happening as well, just kind of a combination of things happening at once. Um, and then, of course, unexpected life events. I don't know if you guys have ever just been, in the thick of things and all of a sudden, like life just honestly slaps you in the face. And when I started tonight's video, I just started out by just saying my heart goes out to everybody that's being affected by what's going on in this country, in country meaning United States. My heart really goes out to all of you, including my own family, friends that are being impacted. It's really overwhelming to have the carpet kind of ripped from underneath your feet, and then you're having to figure out, or the rug ripped from underneath your feet, and then having to figure it out. Um, Oh, yes. I'm sure you're making the world a better place, Lily. I'm super confident. You seem really kind. Um, yes, we are all a work in progress. Thank you, son. I hope that this channel goes well. So, mind shift failure equals not equaling stopping, but failure equals learning. So, there's something to be learned. Um, when there are setbacks. And you really have to think about in the midst of that failure, like what is something that you can learn? Oh, what's that from South Africa? How cool. Welcome. And so, my question for you guys is what's one thing that has thrown you off track recently? If you can type in the chat, like what's something in the comment section. Can you tell I'm on Zoom with students all the time? What is something that has thrown you off track recently and you're like pretty much having to recalibrate? Anything that's really thrown you off track recently, please feel free to type in the comment section. Yeah, unexpected bill. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Actually, like, um, this happened to us, and this happened to Charles and I. For those of you that don't know, Charles is my husband. I think it was, golly, was it 3 or 4 years ago? And D, you'll know what I'm talking about because I'm kind of like talking to you, but talking to the collective. But basically, our electric company had increased the rates. And when I tell you we had a 500 some dollar bill, and it was like a cold winter for our area where we actually had snow like 5 or 6 times and not like a dusting. Like this winter, we have no snow in the mountains, nothing, which has been, that's really, really strange. We've at least had um, snow in the mountains, but normally in the winter, like on average, our bill would get up to like 250, 300 at the most. But no, it went up to over $500. Yeah. Um, So company got sold. Hello, good morning, welcome. Um, wow, that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that, Dion. No, it was crazy. It's not recent, but it did happen. That was, yeah, it just was nuts. But something that's unexpected now, um, I would just say like, well, some things are kind of expected of what's going on at a national level, some of it, but it is definitely concerning for someone who is an educator, and it's leaving my students feeling like really uncertain. And we're talking about a lot of like present day things that are happening, and just students being concerned like, are they going to be able to continue their education? And it's an unexpected, but also kind of expected. Um, and so I'm just finding like, Monday through Thursday when I'm teaching, we're having some pretty heavy conversations. And a lot of what I try, not what I try to do, what I do is really just educate and inform, and help them to just be aware of what's going on. Because I certainly cannot tell people what to do, but just providing awareness of like what they can do, and just being mindful of what they can control, essentially. So, all right. So my 4 step process for bouncing back after a setback. Failure is learning opportunity. Love is a promise. Never touch. A Marine's coffee, words to live by. Okay. All right. Um, Step one, reflect without judgment. Instead of self criticism, ask what happened, what can I learn? Um, an example, instead of like I failed to write last week, reframe it as I needed a better system to stay on track. I know you saw that, D. I was like, oh, those are wise words. Um, yeah. Good morning for those that are located in India. I have such a large fan base of people from India. Thank you all for like showing my channel so much support. I really appreciate it. And then my second largest fan base is everybody that's here in the US. So, and then I have like a very small percentage that's located in the UK. So, and for whatever reason, I have a large following of men. It's like 71% men and then like 28% women. It's insane. Hi, thank you all for joining. So, sometimes, and like what Dee said, an unexpected bill, there you can't be critical of yourself, and just think about how cold and winterous it's been where you're located, and that has a huge impact. Um, there's just a lot of things to take into consideration. Good evening, everyone that's hopping on. We are talking about goals and setbacks, and how do we overcome them, and how do we bounce back. So if you like that kind of content, just keep hanging out. um Thank you, Dee. So, step two, reconnect with your why. Why does your goal matter to you? I'm writing my dissertation because I want to contribute to the field of criminology justice and I want to complete this degree. That's what it boils down to. I want to be able to start a nonprofit organization that helps mothers, non-violent mothers that are coming out of incarceration, and be able to offer them parenting classes based off of the program that I'm developing for my actual doctorate itself. And so that's like my big why as to why I got into getting this degree in the first place. Um, so, because my goal would have to make a world a better place and so much more to make a better goal. Yes. Yes. Continued prayers. Thank you, Lily, for your response. Um, so just always remembering your why, and something that I defer to all the time is, and this is not like public yet, but I do use a product that I created like quite a few years ago. It's my goal development plan. But basically, I use this as a reminder of why am I an entrepreneur? Why am I a professor? Why is it important for me to have a life out of all of these roles? Um, why am I getting this doctorate? Like, I always have to remember the why and the systems that are in place. Um, it's just important. So just keeping all of those things in mind. Step three, adjust your plan and make it easier. Simplify and reset your expectations. I can't stress that enough. If daily writing is too much, then commit to 3 times a week instead. Maybe that's something you need to just pivot and relook at your goal. Use habit stacking to integrate small actions into existing routines. That was something that I did when it came down to going to CrossFit. I was able to just kind of look and say, okay, I think on Thursdays, um, because I'm already getting out of class soon enough, I can go ahead and change, get in the car, and go. Good evening, Linda. So you're saying good evening. How are you doing? Watching you live. Looking cute, loving your hair, looks good. Have a great day and blessings. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the liking and subscribing and turning on that notification bell. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Now, I guess I need to give my commercial break. You guys are probably noticing that Dee LaSure is my moderator, which I totally appreciate her. She is my YouTube bestie. We came back into the scene at the same time, right around mid-October, and we are slowly making progress, slowly but surely. You know, we're in it for the marathon at this point, and I think we're reaching the 5K part of the marathon. But if you're not sure about her content, if you're a writer, or maybe you are looking to getting into the industry and like doing movies and writing scripts and producing, listen, her channel has a lot of amazing stuff guiding you on writing. Or perhaps you are a single male or female looking for a dear future husband or dear future wife. Let me tell you, she's got an entire series that she is rolling out right now called Dear Future Husband. So, some really fun, engaging content, but yet super educational. And so, please go over and like and subscribe to her content. And she goes live as well. So, no, Dee is not a bot, she's a real person. So, yeah, I just thought I would say that. Thank you. So another thing to keep in mind is for step four, create a quick win and regain momentum. So take a small action step today to like restart. What is one small step that you could do to just restart and get yourself remotivated again? And not to put D on the spot, but like, what is something that could get you remotivated into engaging in your book again? I've heard that one a lot. um, an example would be if you missed workouts, start with just 10 minutes a day. So, with the 45-day challenge for myself, even though I can't make it to CrossFit, it has just turned into, you know what? Did I take a walk? Could I get on the spin bike? Did I do some dance cardio? Did I lift some weights? Like, what are some things within my control? And when can I stack that habit to make it happen? I need to wake up earlier and jump right in, put my phone down. Oh my gosh. You know what I do? So, this is what I do. When I wake up, because my phone is my alarm, I could use my other alarm, but I just choose not to. Um, but I turn off my alarm and then I give myself like maybe a limit of scrolling. Like maybe it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes because like I have a time in which I need to get out of bed and start doing the routine. So once that, let's just say for instance, because y'all know I have a small dog that needs heart medication at 7:30 in the morning. So basically, what I'll do is I need to be up and out of bed, bed made, blinds open, all of that by 7:30. But I need to go ahead and like brush my teeth, wash my face, get my workout clothes on, and then I will walk out and open the blinds in our living room. And then I will go ahead. I have the medication already prepped the night before. Um, and so, with that being said, I go ahead and give them their medication, give her her medication, the other one a vitamin, the other one a treat. And then afterwards, we'll go straight into doing a workout. And so that's how I stack it. And so all of this stuff is happening within the first like 45 minutes of my day. So then when I'm done working out, um, I'm able to go ahead, cook breakfast, and then like take a shower and get myself ready, and then go ahead and start my day. And all of this happens. It depending on the day, it's either going to take me an hour and a half to do my routine. My routine can be 30 minutes to 2 hours in length. It just all depends. But I prefer to go ahead and get that workout done first thing than to like waste my time and try to do it later on in the day because then life just kind of picks up. So that's how I try to like streamline and keep everything focused. So I hope just hearing like my routine is helpful to you all. Um, I hope it's helpful. Um, I guess the next piece that I'll do is like some basic live coaching. So, if you don't mind sharing any setback that you faced recently, and then I can give some live feedback right here. If you want to type in the chat what you have going on. Um, but here's some additional questions to kind of keep in mind. What do I do if I feel completely unmotivated? How do I stop feeling guilty when I fall off track? And how do I restart without feeling overwhelmed? If you could take a moment to answer those questions, that would be great. I wonder if I'm frozen or what's going on. Dee, are you still there? I thought I had a person for interior book design, but now I don't. Oh no, what happened? Is this for the book that you're working on? I don't know what happened. It was like it said I had one person in the entire like thing, and I was like, well, I'm assuming it's just D and I talking at this point. So, do you feel like that's throwing you off track, or is it making you feel overwhelmed, or is it like unmotivating? Yes, for premeditated. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, you know, it's funny. We had that conversation in the peer group today. I'm still motivated. I was like, I don't feel like you're gonna be unmotivated. You're the older sister that I didn't know I had. We could be twins. Or you're the older sister I looked up to be like, I want to be that when I grow up. Yeah, isn't that hard to like be in a situation where you're super motivated and then you're working with people that are unmotivated? It's almost exhausting. But in the peer group, there's a couple of folks that are in the process of looking for their chairs, and one of them was asking for advice. She was like, what would you recommend in terms of finding a chair, or like how would you kind of weed it out? And I said, well, first off, it's like based off of what areas of focus that they've actually worked on. um but I said, then I like one of our other peers had said she did interviews with the chairs. um I know, I understand the struggle bus is real. I really wish I could do everything myself, but the reality is I'm like, I can't. Oh my gosh, you timed somebody out. Okay. I just saw that at the bottom. Thank you. But one of my other peers did an interview with interviewed like two out of the three chairs or whatever. And so I was telling my other classmate, I said, I think the interviews are really invaluable. I said, because you're going to be working with this person for the next year. And your style of how you operate as a student, your chair needs to mirror that. And I said, you know, I like my chair as a person. I just don't care for this person in their role. And I told her that flat out. And I said, because when someone tells me they're going to show up every Thursday or Wednesday or Tuesday at like 1:30, I expect that to happen. And when that's not happening, as someone like myself that likes a very consistent schedule, it's very frustrating to me. And so if you're able to kind of weed that out from the very beginning by interviewing chairs, I just think that's really invaluable. And so I was just telling her that, and she was like, this is really good advice. So, um, yeah, it's like you can be really motivated for a project, but then the other people are not motivated at all or not as invested as you are. And then you have to find a way to still keep yourself on track and keep yourself focused and making sure that you don't end up feeling overwhelmed because the other part of the party refuses to be a participant, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this call. Some key takeaways that I have for you guys: setbacks are part of success, so learning and adjusting is key. I encourage you all to drop a comment on what's one way you will bounce back this week. And then I will check in next week and let you all know and let me know how you're doing in your progress. I'll be super curious. Next week's topics and things will be coming out. So next week we will be focusing on how to stay focused and avoid distractions while achieving your goals. Cannot be distracted, must stay focused. Um, so I just encourage you all to keep check out my recent video that I uploaded today. It's talking about work-life balance as someone who's a go-getter such as myself, but I'm also married and I have a lot of responsibilities, but I stay motivated. My next video for goal-oriented content will be out this Wednesday at 5 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so please check that video out as well. But for now, that is all I have for you guys. Have an amazing week and don't let your setbacks hold you back. You can definitely overcome them. Until the next live, which I'll be coming back on here in a little bit, but next time I'll be in the kitchen cooking. So, all right, guys, take care and we will talk soon. Good night. And we post on the same days. Oh my gosh, of course we do. All right. Good night, everyone.